Alright, so today we're going to be working on our 58 Pontiac Chieftain here. It's a 4-door hardtop. We've had this car for a little while now, but it is easily the worst one we have. I mean, it's one of our favorites, don't get me wrong on that, but it is definitely one of the ones that's in the worst shape. It runs and drives, mostly, but it's got no floors, interior's destroyed, and it is an absolute mess of a car. I hate to say that, but I am going to just try and get some work done on it today. Some of the windows are stuck and don't really want to roll down or up really well, so I'm going to be taking door panels off as well. Vacuuming it out, just trying to kind of get the interior stripped down so the car can stop smelling as bad as it does and kind of give us a better start for the future projects with this car. I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of an in-depth view of the vehicle, kind of a little bit of what we're going to be doing today, and we'll go from there. Alright, like I said, this is our 58 Pontiac Chieftain. It is our probably most recent car that we got of the fleet. It is definitely, like I said, one of the worst. The interior is in pretty rough shape. The headliner is currently falling down. There is the back seat that you guys saw me reupholster in the last video. And right now, if you look at it, it's got, well, a lot of junk in it. And it's got washing machine panels as the floorboards because the floors are pretty much entirely rotted out in the front, and if you look in the back too, this car could very well be owned by the Flintstones. It's pretty rough. So today the kind of goal is I'm going to be stripping this thing down, door panels out, headliner out, cleaning it out, vacuuming as best as I can. I mean, the car is definitely not going to be amazing, but it's going to be good enough for now. Just kind of getting me a clean workspace to start the progress of actually starting to do some more work on this car. The hopeful work sometime soon is to do a little more work on the floors, eventually reupholster the front seat as well, like you guys saw me do with the back seat, and just kind of go from there and kind of see where this car takes us and where this project takes us. I will still be making videos on the station wagon, but I like to mix up the content a little bit, and now that the weather is getting better, I'm going to start doing some videos on this car as well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start just tearing the trash out of here. I mean, we kind of use it as a storage. A lot of people hate when people do that, but honestly, the car's been sitting here. We kind of just stored junk in it for now. So I'm going to start out by just kind of getting that stuff out of there, and then we'll kind of go from there. But this stuff is all kind of an absolute just nasty mess. This is a Mexican blanket that we temporarily used as a seat cover for the car. Here's another seat cover that we attempted to use for the car. Again, it's a mess. Don't judge us. I gotta start by just getting the big stuff out of the car and kind of going from there. I have an oil change ready for the car whenever, you know, we care to do that, but honestly, an oil change is not what this thing needs right now. It needs an entire rebuild. And I don't know if you guys actually ended up seeing it in the first, like I said, it's falling apart. But if you actually come and take a look over here, you can see that both sides of the rear floor pan are completely rotted out, both the drivers and the passengers. The front seat is just barely held in with hopes and dreams, and when you sit in it, you can feel it rocking back and forth as it feels like it's going to fall out of the car. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. I do plan on taking the front seat out of the car, but again, you see the amount of rust in here. It's not going to just come off easy. I'm going to have to cut the front seat out with the death wheel. So because the rear seat's not bolted in, I'm going to just take this out for now, set it over here, call that good. Get the top half out. Yeah. If you take a look, you can see this car's got also a lot of mouse problems from even when before we got it. And as far as we know, they're not still living in here, but I mean, you never really know. So a lot of the work I'm going to be doing is trying to get the floor pans cleaned up, kind of get a damage assessment on the rust and see how bad it actually is, because it's going to take a lot of work. It needs full floor pans. This isn't just patchwork. This is full, like, front to back, toe board to the back seat. It is just rotted out bad. It's pretty bad under the front seat too, as far as I know, but yeah, I'll just go from there. I'm gonna set up time lapse for you guys to watch me kind of just vacuuming the thing out and go from there. I just wanted to record something funny that I saw real quick while I was vacuuming this thing out. So it looks like these cars had a multitude of original drain hole spots that were supposed to be used. Looks like somebody forgot to take the drain plugs out while this thing's full of water, and, well, nature itself decided to make its own drain holes all over the car. I don't think I have ever actually seen that many drain holes in one spot. There's 4 on this side, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. I don't know why they're there, but they're there. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the front and continue the same process. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the temporary floor pans that I put in here just so I can get a little more access to the bolts under the seat. You guys might be asking why I even bothered vacuuming all the leaves and seat parts out of here. I need to cut the bolts out of the seat to get the seat out, and I'm trying not to burn the car down. So, like I said, just going to minimize the danger risk here. But I'm going to go ahead and take the floor pans out and, well, floor pans. Take them out and just kind of go from there. You'll also be able to see just how bad the rust is underneath of these. Yeah, there's no floor left. So that's part of our problem. And it's just as bad as the other side. I mean, these are the brackets, well, okay, not the brackets, these are supports for the seat right here. And, well, the fact that I can just crunch them with my hand kind of says a lot about the whole situation here. If you look at the floor brace right here, you can see that all of the metal off of it, it's rusted off, and it's actually starting to tear and get rusted where it's supported by the frame, so it can actually wiggle. But, hey, I mean, you call it rust, I call it, you know, shifter access or something, you know. Just try and be positive about the situation, the fact that this car has very little floor left at all. Really the only thing saving this car and keeping it as one solid hunk of metal is the fact that it's an X-frame car. Other than that, this thing would have probably broken in half, especially being a 4-door hardtop, so I call this good enough to survive. You may call it, you know, a pile. This is still a savable car, it's just we don't have what we need to fix the floor pans, so washing machine panels it is. Alright, so here's what the plan is. I'm gonna go ahead and take a death wheel here, cut off the heads of the 2 bolts in the front that hold the front bracket off, or hold the front seat bracket on, do the same on the passenger side. And you may be thinking to yourself, wow, this is a massive fire hazard, because yes, this is all extremely flammable seat material. I have my wonderful girlfriend over there with the fire extinguisher just in case things go south, because I've set my car on fire at least 3 times. It's never burned to the ground, but it's been on fire at least 3 times. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up and kind of get you guys a view of what I'm gonna be doing here, and hopefully not set the car on fire. Always remember to wear safety glasses or just squint your eyes. Either of the 2 both work. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and cut this out. Oh man, that's what I was afraid of. The seat might be too stuck for me to be able to get this in there, so I might have to cut it off from below. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. This is way worse under here than I thought. So, see, I can't barely. Because I can't get in there because the stupid freaking seat's in the way. What about these? How do these come off? Let me see if I can go ahead and try and get this thing off, because I doubt the screws are gonna be movable enough to do that, but let's go ahead and see. All right, let's see. Oh, hey, look, looks like we're getting lucky. These are actually gonna come out. I don't have a lot of hopes for this car, if you guys can't tell. I'm very pessimistic about the car, mainly because it is in some really, really rough shape. And I have fought this thing tooth and nail to get it running, to get it driving, to pretty much everything on here has been an absolute fight. So, let's see, what else holds this pile on? I know you guys might be freaking out. This is some crazy special car or something. Right now, that's not what matters. Right now, just being able to strip it out is what matters. Well, it looks like I'll at least be able to get one of them off, so let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so I was able to get half of it off. Which, that's good. Now, the other side's another story. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. This thing's going to fight. It's going to fight me a lot. And I can't scoot the seat back any further. This is as far back as it goes. So that's fun. I'm half tempted to just cut the floor out with the seat bracket, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Let me think about a plan for this thing real quick, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I think I made the decision just to try and cut the inner one off from the bottom. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyways because I'm kind of out of options here. And I just want to get this thing torn apart. I set my arm on fire. That's fun. Alright, I think I might have it off enough just to try and wiggle it off, but I'm going to go ahead and fight with this on my own time so you guys don't have to watch this whole process. Okay, so, change of pace. I know you guys just saw me trying to fight to get the seat out. I'm not going to deal with that right now. I think I'm just going to have my dad help me with this. He's going to grab the torches from out in the shop, and we're just going to torch the seat out because, honestly, it's too much of a fight. There's very, very little space in there to get anything done, and I'm just going to end up setting the whole car on fire before I actually successfully get anything done. So, yeah, let's just step away from getting the seat out for right now. We'll finish that up on another day. Again, this car loves to fight, as you guys know with all old cars. But if you come around here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I'm going to get the door panel taken off of this side because this window is absolutely stuck and doesn't want to come up at all. There's a bunch of, I'm assuming, mouse nest or something jammed up in there. And we want to at least get the car sealed up, which, yes, you may laugh at the fact that calling the car sealed up with giant holes in the floor. Just for our own sake. Humor me here, okay? We just want to get the windows rolled up at least. But, so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get my tools gathered up real quick. I'm going to work on getting all these knobs and handles off, and then I'll show you guys that process, and, yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a trick that a really close friend of mine taught me to get these door handles off. So, I don't know how many of you know, I mean, you guys, the ones watching this at least, have probably taken these old style door handles off. They can be a pain in the butt because of the C-clips that they have hidden behind the door handle itself. So, you're going to take a rag, just any simple shop rag, usually these fibery ones, and you want to be able to get these wedged in behind the door handle itself. And I'm going to show you guys how I was taught to do this. So, I'm going to grab my screwdriver here, get me some extra space behind this, and I'm going to take a look and find where that C-clip is. Let's see. Okay, so you're going to find the edge of the C-clip. So where it sits like this, you're going to find one of these edges, right? What you're going to do, you're actually going to, if you can, you don't always have to do it exactly this way, but I like to rip these open a little bit so you can get a little more thin paper edge on the side of the rag, you know, not this sewn edge, because you're going to need something thin in there. And you're actually going to take this rag, you're going to feed it in behind the door handle, and you're going to try a couple of times, but what you're going to end up trying to do is catch that edge of that clip with the rag, and it takes a little bit of doing, but it's by far the best way I have found to get these clips off. And yeah, they take a little few tries, takes a little practice to get it down the right way. Let's see, like that. Because you're gonna, if you also know, they have the plastic backing that sits behind these doors, or behind the door handles. So you want to wedge it between the plastic backing and the actual mechanism. And just like I said, just keep going a few times. You're never gonna get it on the first shot. There we go. I just got it loose. I got the clip popped off. Now let me get it off the rest of the way. So I just got it off the little lip in there. I'm gonna take this tinier screwdriver. Ah, man. Shoot. Well, looks like I got it popped back on there by accident. Okay, so let's try this again. Same process, same thing. Wedge a screwdriver in between the plastic and the actual door handle. And you're just gonna keep going at it once or twice. Just over and over. Until eventually you hear that sound, that tink. That's it actually catching on the metal clip in there. Now, I've yet to have a car that it didn't work on, but again, this car is legendary for being a massive pain. So let's see, got it off again. Sometimes it'll, you know, as you very well know, it'll pop back on because these things can be very, very touchy. Yep, just like that, popped back on. And just like that, the clip pops out. And if you don't believe me, there's the clip. And now, whole thing comes off. Like I said, you just gotta keep trying it over and over and over. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you look, the clip sits in these two notches right here on the sides. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to wrap the rag around this center post, and it'll catch the edge of the clip. And once you just yank on it at one good time, it'll tink right out of there. And there you go, you get it off. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the process on the other two door handles. Same thing like I showed you guys. I'm gonna get the armrest off, and then I'll show you guys once I'm actually pulling the door panel off. And yeah, all right, so I went ahead, got each of the cranks off, got the door handle itself off. I mean, I wasn't gonna bother showing you guys that. It's nothing interesting. It's two screws that hold the door handle on, and it was the same process that I already showed you guys on removing the window cranks. I can't imagine this is gonna be easy to get this thing off because it's pretty crunchy, but we're gonna kind of just pry it off because I'm not trying to save it, and God knows how long this thing's been on here. And I know that it's been off at some point because someone put some cheap aftermarket speakers. Like, they literally just cut a hole in the vinyl. I don't even know how they put them on the door. And then they put a speaker grate here. So someone's obviously been into this car. And if you look, let's see. There is supposed to be a metal rail right along here that holds the door panel in. Yeah, it's gone. It's rusty. So again, I don't really care too much about this thing because all this has to get replaced anyways. So, oh yeah, look at that. There's that little speaker that they put in there at some point. Oh man, that thing is crunchy. Look at that, just coming apart. This thing was destined to be used for good at some point. Like, what I mean by that is, somebody made this their, mid to late 70s, early 80s hot rod, because there's an 8-track player in here, or no, cassette player, I mean, not 8-track, cassette player in here. There is the aftermarket speakers in the front doors, and then there was 2 aftermarket speakers in the rear deck of the car. So, and I mean really an excess amount of speaker harness wiring. Someone made this their hot rod, music blaster, all that junk. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at here and kind of see if I can figure out. Oh God! Do you guys see how crunchy that is? Like, look at this. This stuff just breaks off. This thing's This thing's pretty rotted. This door is actually the worst out of all the doors, because if you look up here, the door is actually rotting away in the top, because this seal is long since gone right here, and it allowed water to sit right up here in the top of the door and start to rot it away. So yeah, this thing's not too great. I'm gonna try and peel some of this stuff off so I don't get, you know, tetanus and die. So let me grab, so this one is the window crank, temporarily. Let's make sure I take the clip off of it, because I like to store them with the clip on there, but it's pretty unfun when you go to put this back on to test something and you re-clip it back on. I've done it a million times. Don't do it. It's not fun. But also don't lose those clips, because they'd like to disappear. So what I'm trying to figure out is what is exactly sticking this door in here. So I mean, let's see, is the window itself jammed? Yeah, so it seems like the window, it's all kind of just rusted in place. Man, I don't really know. I haven't dealt with the Pontiac style window mechanism doors. I've dealt with the Nova ones, so I get those pretty well. I've dealt with the Buick ones pretty well, but I haven't dealt with this one before. Let's see, so I can see the window rail right here. What I'm trying to figure out is what exactly is jamming the crank mechanism up, you know? Like, I wonder if it's just rust. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some spray lube for this thing and just douse it and see if I can get anything to start moving. So, the other one, we're fighting with it. I got the window to come out most of the way. Yeah, you guys might be screaming at me, oh my god, you're gonna break it. Listen, this car is not pristine, and I figured out what the problem is, so I'm just gonna deal with the problem as it lies. It looks like what ended up happening, if you guys take a look in here, the actual window track, like the piece that holds the bottom of the glass in place, has actually decided to rust in place and break off. It was broken like that in there, that's why I got jammed. So I have to pull it all the way out. No, this isn't the safe way to do it, but it works. Glass is already broken and it's breaking more, so that's fun. Yeah, it sucks the glass busted. But if you can't see, the rest of the glass on the car needs to be replaced anyways. And this is seriously simple flat plane glass, and we have someone in our family that can literally just take these measurements, go to the glass shop that he works at, and cut us a new plane of glass. So I really don't care that much. And yeah, it sucks it rusted and broke, but if you guys even paid attention, the whole thing was already screwed up. Which also makes sense why. Yep. Look at this, guys. Do you see how this rusted in half? Like, this wasn't me. These are tears and rips from it rusting in half. So that's actually why it got jammed. Is it actually rusted in half and completely broke. So that's freaking great. And yeah, if you guys look, if you look right here, it's supposed to be welded on to this slider bracket right here. Well, not slider, but this bracket right here, similar to how it is right here, yet it rusted off of that, which is what was causing it to jam up, because it was only moving half the window at a time and not actually moving the entire window. So this was gonna need to get replaced anyways. And there was really no way to get the window out without that. So without doing what I just did. So you can scream at me all you want, but I can almost guarantee you that wasn't the only issue. Let's see. Yeah, see the window track's rusted solid. Let me see this. I'll show you guys something real quick. So you can see the way everything looks in here. And if you look way down in there, let's see. This guy right here, that is the window track, or the window crank mechanism. And if you look at it, let's see if I can show you guys this. It's kind of an awkward angle. I'm just spinning the handle currently, and it's not moving. So that thing is completely rusted solid. So my whole idea of, you know, making this sealed up is not going to work for now. So I think I'm going to call it here for today. I did get some good work done. I finally got the car cleaned up. Okay, cleaned up, vacuumed out, and I kind of got a solution to what the issue is with the glass. And I think we're going to call it there for right now. I will see you guys next time. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and share, and we will go ahead and end the video here.